Pretty wild here. Xiaomi's stock price has fallen by around 13% after news of a fire in one of its electric cars overnight. Here's what has happened. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Xiaomi. I mean, to be honest, I actually think most of the Xiaomi news lately has been really good. I mean, they just set a record. They delivered, I think, 44,000 electric cars in the month of September this year, which was a staggering result for what is a very, very new car company. The Xiaomi SU7, amazing car. Xiaomi U7, also an amazing car. Xiaomi say they're going to break even selling those cars and reduce the cost of manufacturing by the end of this year. That's all good news, but in news not so good. A Xiaomi SU7 has caught fire after a major collision. I think, guys, we're going to see news stories like this constantly for the next, 30 years until humans are no longer allowed to drive cars because, let's be honest, the Xiaomi SU7 with about 1,500 horsepower is probably not safe for human consumption. Probably for most of us, it's not safe to drive. I think I am certain of the fact that if I own one of these, I would crash it eventually. Yeah, I'm aware of my limitations, but a lot of people are not aware of their limitations. The SU7 electric sedan caught fire following a severe collision earlier today, and the driver was trapped inside. This incident sparked a fresh wave of negative buzz, says CNET Post, about the company and sent its stock price tumbling. Videos and images circulating on Chinese social media show the SU7, the Ultra variant, as I said, 1,500 horsepower. It was on fire on the side of the road, with multiple passers-by attempting to unsuccessfully open the doors. The incident occurred around 3:16 a.m. on the 13th of October on a street in Chengdu. So in other words, today at the time of this video. And this was in southwest China. Based on footage, images, and eyewitness confirmation, CNET Post says the driver actually passed away. Now, I'm not sure why they couldn't break the glass to help him get out, but maybe he had already died before, the car eventually did burn. Following the crash, the driver was trapped inside, and multiple bystanders tried to rescue him, but they couldn't open any of the doors. As firefighters arrived to extinguish the blaze, the vehicle emitted explosive sounds, says the paper. After the flames were extinguished, only the vehicle's frame remained. Unable to open the doors manually, rescuers and used hammers and electric saws to cut them open, which is actually common for all cars. My dad used to work in the fire brigade, and he'd come home and tell me stories about this, how they had to use what they call the jaws of life to open the car, these enormous cutting devices. So that's very common. It's not just electric cars that you have to do that on. Police later said in a release that the vehicle was being driven by a 31-year-old man surnamed Deng, who was suspected of driving under the influence of alcohol and died in the accident. But how would they have known he was under the influence of alcohol? I don't think his body was recoverable. So I don't think the police should have said that. That's kind of disrespectful. If you don't know, don't even say that. Don't make that comment. So, Deng, mate, wherever you are, I'm putting it out there on the internet, and hopefully people see you might not have been drinking. You probably weren't, dude. You just got a car that was crazy fast that, to be honest, anyone owning one of these cars could have crashed it. So, yeah. The vehicle apparently collided with a sedan ahead of it and then crossed the median strip and burst into flames, according to the announcer. As a result, you can see stock price fell by around 10% overnight. Now, this incident has raised some questions about the safety of electronic door handles, but the truth is, I don't think the electronic door handles were the reason they couldn't open the car. I think that the truth is the car had a pretty bad accident, and that's the reason the doors were jammed. But the Chinese government, I think quite smartly, have told automakers in China they all have to make cars that don't have hidden door handles that only operate electronically. There needs to be a way of actually manually opening the doors as well. Last month, Xiaomi announced a recall of 117,000 SU7 EVs due to potential limitations in its driver assistance software handling extreme scenarios. So Xiaomi are trying to prevent these sorts of accidents because they know their cars are overpowered, at least for the humans that are driving them. They are, let's be honest, 1,500 horsepower. It's too much for the average driver. The average driver is not a race car driver. It's too much for me. I mean, I've driven cars very aggressively many times. I've played Gran Turismo a lot. You get excited. You think you're a great driver. You're not. And you go and crash a car because, to be honest, even race car drivers rarely drive cars with 1,500 horsepower. Guys, what are your thoughts on this story? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. The Sydney EV International Motor Show. If you want to get a 50% discount on your tickets, all you got to do, click the link in the description and use the promotion code that's in the description. Just copy and paste that. Now, I should mention there's only 200 tickets available per day. So if you go to use the promo code and you can't get a ticket, wait till the next day. Don't wait until the day before the show to get your tickets, because otherwise you'll probably miss out on getting the 50% discount. Guys, interesting story here. I've just spoken to some insiders in China who say that Xiaomi has manufactured this story in a damage control effort. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened. I don't want to be targeted by anyone. But I'm telling you now, several insiders have told me that this story is damage control from Xiaomi's PR department, and they've completely manufactured this story, basically blaming Apple, basically blaming the iPhone for causing one of their cars to decide to take itself on a little drive. The better thing to do, in my opinion, would just be to take responsibility, say, yeah, we know what happened, we fixed the problem. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Chinese car manufacturers build great cars. Let's be honest, they do. They build fantastic EVs, but they do not know how to respond when there are PR issues. When there's PR issues, they go into damage, they freak out and they're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How do we get out of this? How do we silence this story? Who do we have to pay off? And honestly, guys, they don't all do this, but it does happen and it needs to change. It's one part of Chinese car culture or Chinese corporate culture that is a little bit Nissan-like. It's dangerous for them to do this stuff. So this is the story. It's kind of interesting. Xiaomi has blamed iPhone or Apple's iPhone for its EV driving off on its own.